Hello and welcome to Turner Truck and Tractor. My name's Les. It's been a while and I'm glad to be here with you, and I'm glad you are here as well. It's been about 3 weeks since I retired, and so far I guess I'm still on the honeymoon. So far so good. I sleep good. I don't dread getting up in the morning. I've gotten a lot of projects done around the house, such as painting the bathroom, and that was planned. And then the unplanned project was changing out a water heater, but it needed it. It couldn't wait. And then I redid the lighting in the attic. That was something I'd put off for 20 years since the house was built. So I got that done yesterday and enjoying today. It's about the third week in January 2024, and so far so good. We had a couple of freezes, and then we did get some rain, some much needed rain. So today's an overcast day as I'm looking out through the garage. And so I thought I'd sit here at the bench, and during some of those rainy days, they can be dangerous with the credit card and the internet. So I ordered the Ecoflow battery generator. And one thing that came in mind that prompted the purchase was during the cold weather out here, in South Texas, our electricity can get a little iffy. So I thought this would be a little good backup. It's good for, camping, or I thought I could use it here in the shop as well from time to time, or on the back patio if you got projects going on, need to work, or even for play. It'd be good to run a few things on the back patio. Or if you're a prepper type, it's always good to have that. But short of any disaster, I think probably around here would be good use here in the shop and whenever electricity goes out. I've also seen that people use it for uninterrupted power supply. So that's a good option. So I will unbox it here, but let's take a look at it and then we'll put it to a little test here. But it is Ecoflow. I looked at this one. I bought it off the Jungle website. This is not sponsored. There's no connection in between me and Ecoflow other than just a normal customer. Look at the Ecoflow website, get a lot of knowledge there. You can look at Amazon, compare the two depending on the model that you're looking for or looking at. One or the other can be, a little bit cheaper, not a big difference, but if you can save $1, I hope you do. I also looked at the Blue Eddy. That was another good one. I really liked the shape of it. That cube just really looked like it would hit the spot storage-wise, and it was compact. I liked the built-in handles that didn't stick out, and it had a lot of good things going for it as well, but ultimately went with the Ecoflow brand. There's many sizes smaller than this. There's many times a lot larger than this. So depending on your needs, of course, the bigger, the longer it's going to run, the more you can plug into it. So set your expectations accordingly on that. But around here, I think it'll do for what I need to do to run a few items. And let's take a look at the box here. It is the Ecoflow 2700 watt battery generator. It is the Delta 2 version. And the one reason why I went with that was the battery technology. You can charge it up many times more, about 3 times more, 3 to 3.5 times more charge and discharge cycles. So this should last a lot longer for my purposes. And from what I read as well, this type of battery chemistry, it doesn't matter if you keep it float charged and near the top, it stays at the bottom. Some batteries like to have a full cycle between charge and discharge, where they get a little sticky point in there, or a battery memory, so to speak. So it's a little bit more expensive, but you get a little bit more life out of it. It says it has a peak charging time of 50 minutes, 1800 watt outlet, which is pretty much one standard home outlet there. Most hair dryers and heaters and things that you plug into, that you can use into a plug, it's about 1500 watts max. So you need to look at your outlet, your wire size. Most of it's 12.2 in a home. If it's smaller than that, you don't want to pull much more out of the plug like that. And plus, if you've got 15 or a 20 amp breaker in your house, you know, would sort of set the tone for what you can reasonably do with that. It's got a 1024 watt hour capacity, and like we were talking about 3,000 plus battery cycles to 80%, I believe that's there, and capacity for 10 years of use. 14-hour fridge, 7-hour on a normal TV, 31-hour Wi-Fi, 31 hours on a light. That doesn't, lights, especially LED, don't draw much. 16 on a laptop, and 14 cordless battery for drills. All right, you can charge it up by AC, solar, a car, that'd be the 12 volt, or a smart generator. And I guess that means you can probably plug this into another one and share power that away. On the outlet side of it, there are 6 AC outlets that you're used to in your house, a USB-A type, 2 DC outlets, so I'll assume that's a cigarette lighter type, 2 USB-C outputs, 1 car outlet port. So I just mentioned that, so we'll take a look at that. Oh, that's the smaller plug on that, that's what that is. And then 2 USB-A fast charge. And it has 0 emissions. Well, it can, I guess, depending on how you charge it and where your electricity comes from to put back into it, it can have 0 emissions, but in itself, I guess it's 0 emissions. And there is a smart app controller for that. So let's get this thing unboxed and see what's inside. All right. I'll stand up here. All right, the first thing is warranty card and instruction manual. And I imagine there's more online that you could probably get as well. Has some nice styrofoam. And then it gets right down to business. So here we go. Here, I'm going to set this box aside. Here's probably the accessory box there. Not bad. It says it's about 27 pounds, and I believe it. It's not heavy, it's not unmanageable. Sort of more compact than what I would imagine. All right, here, let's get to the front. And there's the front, there's the USB outlets that it's talking about. Some portholes for the cooling fans, I believe. And here's the business end of it with the AC outlets. 2 of them have a ground. And then the ones without the ground prong. All right, and then there's the 12 volt, probably a circuit breaker reset right there. Here's your other 12 volt. There we go. Yep, cigarette lighter type. All right, let's get it back to the front side here. All right, let's see what this is. All right, I imagine that is a plug to charge it, and it may be in here as well. And it looks like it's polarized. You can only put it in one way. So that's good. All right, without knowing any more about this, let's take a look. Let's see. Let's hit the on button. All right. It's got 29% charge right out of the box. I've not done anything to it. We're not drawing anything out of it. And I guess at that rate, thereabouts, theoretically, it could run about 99 hours. So let's have some fun with this, and I'm going to charge a couple of things in. I'm going to start with something easy, maybe some lights, and then we may see what it can really do, because on batteries and things like that, where I imagine they might struggle is with inductive loads, anything with a motor that runs something. Might even put the air compressor to it for a second, because the initial load is quite high till it gets running, and then it moderates out. So let's take a look at it. Okay, I'm back again. Came back from the garage and picked up this little ceramic heater, and while I was walking back, it did say it was 1500 watts on the bottom of it, and I have not started it yet. I went ahead and plugged it into the back of the power station. One thing that I did notice, there is a switch on the back that you need to turn on first, and I've noticed that it does indicate that it has a 60 hertz plug lit, so it recognizes that something's plugged into the back. And let's go ahead and see what this thing does, and we're off to the races. Alright, it's about 1100 watts, it's reading 12, just crossed 1300. This is blowing warm, and I noticed the fans kicked on here on the side, but nothing too loud. And we're down to 27 hours, or I'm sorry, 27%, 54 hours, and looks like we're about 1250 watts. So this thing's not pulling as much as that sticker says it's rated for. But it's a pretty good load though. Any type of heater, there's a lot of energy changing forms right there. And see, we're already down to 25%. And 9 minutes at that rate. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, and I'm going to plug in a couple other things just to see how this thing does. Alright, well, we've got some energy left. I'm going to go ahead and plug in this window unit air conditioner. I'm going to turn you around here on the stand and let you get a look at it. It's just a little window unit. I believe it's 10,000 BTU, and it says it's supposed to cool about 450 square feet. And here in the garage or in the shop during the summer, I need all the cooling I can get. So this does have a breaker or a GFCI built into the plug here. So I'm going to take one of these. I hear a beep, so I'm assuming it recognizes it. Let's take a look here. Yes, it does, and I believe that even changed positions there. So we're at 24%, and let me go ahead and stand up, and I'm going to turn this thing on, and we'll see what happens here. Alright, we're at max cooling on the air conditioner. And let's see what this did. There we go. I guess the display must be on a timer, because the display went out, but the air conditioner was still running. So we're down to 23% and 1 hour. Really make sure this is on cooling. It was on eco mode, so now I've got the air conditioner on cool. and let's see if that compressor kicks on. Because at 148 watts, I don't think that is with that compressor on. It's about 70 degrees here in South Texas, and the window unit, I've got it as low as it'll go on the setting for 60 degrees, but I don't believe the compressor is kicked on yet. Let's give it a moment here to run. Okay, it just did. I heard it, and now we're at 600 watts. And so far so good. I think you can still hear the window unit. Alright, I'll set you back down right here, and I'll set up one more ultimate test right now. And I'm going to hook up the little air compressor and see what that does, because I think the initial load might pull it down quite a bit. Hello again, I've got this all set back up. What I have here now is my Harbor Freight Fortress air compressor. It's a small little guy. It's 2 gallons, 135 psi, 2.1 square cubic foot a minute it advertised at, and 1.2 horsepower. And I had it all set up, and then I stopped because I was curious what 1.2 horsepower equates in watts. And if I remember right, it was about 883, don't quote me, but somewhere right around there. So this should be able to handle it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. It says it's ultra quiet, but it does make noise. So let's see what this does. Rearrange some of these hoses here. And that's about right. We're at, I don't know if you can see it there, but 818, 827 watts. So, yeah, 815, so it's leveled out right around there. So it wasn't quite the load I thought. And we're down to 21% at that burn rate. Well, I'm sorry, we're at 21% and 13 hours, I believe, at this burn rate. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to correct myself again. That's 13 minutes, not 13 hours. So, yes, it does work. So that's the test to the Ecoflow 2700 watt battery generator. So I think I'm going to be able to use this in the shop. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Hey, please come back. I'm not holding myself to any kind of schedule since I'm retired, and I just want to keep this fun and casual like that. But I've got some cool things coming up and some things planned coming up shortly this spring. So I appreciate you watching this video. It may not be the most informative, but I'm glad to have you here, and hopefully it does help. So any questions, put it in the comments below, and please subscribe, and I do appreciate your time. Take care.